hear anything. Welcome to C2C, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us today. I certainly am full after a long weekend of getting together with the family. Hope your weekend was a good one. If you are off today in Atlantic Canada, we've got a storm moving in.
That's right, and it's a rather substantial storm from the looks of things. The highest amounts will be in the mountains in New England. They could get 30 centimeters of snow there. The eastern townships and the coast of Quebec are looking at 10 to 15 centimeters, and 10 to 15 for southern New Brunswick and PI as it makes its way across the Maritimes tonight and tomorrow.
Meanwhile, we are seeing the poor conditions come to an end in Montreal and then down into Toronto. Conditions will be improving. On the prairies, heavy snow for the north, but to the south, not so bad.
And temperatures quite mild in southeastern Saskatchewan with scattered showers along the coast of BC.
Don't go away. We'll be back soon.
This Weather Network Lawn and Garden forecast is brought to you by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer.
Well, if you are going to be doing some kind of outdoor activity today, whether it is preparing for gardening, in the east it may be a little difficult. Maybe you could sit down with a book indoors and do the same as the storm moves in. Let's check out the west coast where gardening weather would be much better. Here's Al with the details.
Temperatures are just a little below normal around Victoria, but only by a degree, a couple of degrees below seasonal as you get into the Okanagan Valley, but above normal from southern Alberta to southern Manitoba. And in parts of Saskatchewan, we'll see temperatures probably about highs up near 14 or 15 degrees from the looks of things. As for the chance of precipitation, 40% chance of scattered showers around the southwest of BC. The highest chance will be from northern Alberta into northern Saskatchewan, with that low-pressure system producing snow from Grand Prairie over towards Wollaston in Saskatchewan, with the chance of precipitation dropping considerably down in southern Saskatchewan, southern Manitoba, but with high pressure as the dominant feature. From the central coast of BC to northwestern Ontario, moderate winds. Winds at about 35 kilometers per hour on average from the interior BC to northwestern Ontario. Lighter winds expected in the Okanagan Valley and across most of Vancouver Island. A little more moderate down around Victoria. In central and eastern Canada, cool. From the central Great Lakes to the Maritimes, temperatures are, in some cases, 5 or 6 degrees below normal. And with that cool air and moisture coming in from New England, of course, we have a storm forecast for the Maritimes.
This has been C2C. Join us weekdays starting at 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, when we bring you all your latest local weather, as well as national and international conditions. This is the Weather Network.
Need local weather in a hurry? Here's a bright idea. Watch our local forecast with detailed weather reports for your neck of the woods every 10 minutes.
You're watching the Weather Network, covering weather and environmental issues 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, exclusively on cable.
Well, everyone, I'm Gwen Talbot joining you for the next few hours, bringing you coast-to-coast weather across the country and also internationally and on the continental level. We're keeping our eye on a major storm that's brewing its way towards the Atlantic region. Nova Scotia and as well as New Brunswick and Newfoundland are going to be hit. We'll have those details coming up.
And we do have a special storm watch segment for you because it is a very busy night, both east and west. Take your pick. There's a lot going on.
A lot going on indeed. We've had strong winds across the BC coastline, and now we have what's called a bomb, a large storm system moving into Atlantic Canada out of the northeastern U.S. Lots of snow, very strong winds, probably 30 centimeters of snow expected in southeastern New Brunswick, and those very strong northeasterly winds, high wind chills. It is going to be a blustery, wintry day.
Yep, Ottawa down to minus 26 tonight.
Yes, minus 26 with the wind chill, and that's behind that system. So not only will that system take its toll out onto Atlantic Canada, but also Ontario, Quebec with those strong northeasterly winds.
Yep, we have a quick look at some of those warnings that are in effect as a result.
There you see them. The heavy snowfall warning is for much of central southern New Brunswick. Now, as I mentioned, 30 centimeters in the southeastern New Brunswick and 30 centimeters around Charlottetown as well, and that is a lot for this time of year. East Coast Nova Scotia, now we're calling it a winter storm advisory, and that is because we're going to see rain and freezing rain with a little bit of snow. It's going to be very bad for travel all over the Maritimes. The wind warning, yes, indeedy duty. We're talking about strong northeasterly winds up to about 90, possibly 100 kilometers per hour for all areas in yellow. And in addition, well, there you see the accumulation.
Yep, heaviest snowfall accumulations through northern Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, the Magdalen Islands, southern New Brunswick, 25 centimeters or more. Again, we could see 40 to 50 centimeters locally. And that's not all. It goes on. We are heading west. Take a look at the satellite imagery over the prairies.
You're watching the Weather Network, covering weather and environmental issues 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, exclusively on cable.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sherry Claridge. Thank you for joining us today. Tonight, before you go to bed, set your clocks, VCRs, computers, microwaves, and, of course, your wristwatches ahead 1 hour. We're into the spring forward mode. That means you lose 1 hour of sleep. There are a few exceptions here. Northern BC doesn't do it, neither does Saskatchewan.